name is Rayhana Abdullah, and for this video, I am going to talk about global political structures and process on Chapter 5. The focal concern of this chapter is the political structure involved in globalization. However, these are better seen as flows or an encompassing set of flow. So before we get focused on political structures, we need to understand first about political flows themselves. So these are the political flow of various sorts that are relevant to an understanding of contemporary world. If you did observe, these are related to global problems. The nation-state has two basic components, nation and state. Nation, meaning a group of people here with the same language, culture, or territorial contiguity. National identity reflects how an individual chooses to classify themselves. For example of these are culture, language, or family history. Nationalism. The other definition of this is a desire by the nation to form separate and independent nation of their own. For example, the India's promotion of India as Hindu nation. A state is defined as a territory with its own rules like government and borders within a large country. For example is the California because it is constituent a state of the United States of America. Nation-state, meaning when a nation of people have a state or a country of their own. Example is the Japan. So let's proceed to the streets to the nation-state. There are three categories of these, which are global flows, international, human rights, and shadow of war. One of the observers, including the author, concludes that the nation-state is today highly contingent and in flux. Let's now proceed to the global flows. The nation-state is especially threatened by the global economy and global economic flows because globalization allows countries to gain easier access to foreign knowledge. Second, it enhances international competition, including as a result of the rise of appearing market firms, as this threatens firms' cost to innovate and adopt foreign technologies. This site accords to Ohme, which he talks about the borderless global economy that the nation-state are unable to control because of refugees and illegal migrants. Similar arguments made by Strange. It means while nation-state controlled market, it is now the market control the nation-state. Example of this is when a store or the company has sale, the people immediately buy those even they don't need it. So these are the factors of the growth of global problems. So there is what we call the failed state, meaning the state can't control their borders adequately. So another threat is the growing interest of human rights. The human right is also the major issue of the global politics because some people abuse the human right. So as a result, the people have claimed to be able to say what should be done within and between sovereign states. The UN Assembly approved a Universal Declaration of Human Rights. The example of this is the Article 13. What is clear in this declaration, human precede over the nation-state. That's why UN is seeking to control over the state. According here, the person abuses the human right could be found guilty. Shadow of war. According to Nordstrom, she sees different state to nation-state in what she calls the shadow of war. So this is the definition of Nordstrom in shadow of war. It means shadow of war are not restricted by our nation-state. It is these extra-state processes that are central importance. When we say extra-state, it means those exist outside formal channels. For example, is the black market goods. When the nation-state collapses, in order to survive, the locals rely on the extra-state networks. However, it is often the case that extra-state pose greater threats to the nation-state because extra-state wars involve war between a territorial and non-sovereign being outside the borders of the state. So that's all. I hope you've gained knowledge in the